what I want to talk about is the government reorganization, very, very briefly. When we got into this, one of the things we learned was that it has been almost 100 years since anybody really reorganized the government at this type of scale. It's been since FDR and his New Deal, where he changed the way the government worked, and we haven't changed it very much since then, which means we're almost 20% into the 21st century, but we're still dealing with a government that is from the early 20th century. This leads, Mr. President, to some bizarre results. In fact, the stories, you don't know where to start. Right now, because of the Byzantine nature of the way that we regulate in this country, if you have a cheese pizza, you make a cheese pizza, that is governed by the United States Department of Agriculture. No, it's the other way around. I always get these backwards. If you make a cheese pizza, it's governed by the Food and Drug Administration. If you put a pepperoni on it, that's governed by the USDA. If you have a chicken, it's governed by the USDA. If that chicken lays an egg, it's governed by the FDA. But if you break the egg and make it into an omelet, that is now covered again by the USDA. If you have an open-faced roast beef sandwich, that's one or the other. But you put the bread on top of it, it's the other one. A hot dog, the hot dog meat is governed by one. You put it in a bun, it's governed by another. One of my favorites, if you have a saltwater fish, you have a salmon, and it's in the ocean, it's governed by the Department of Commerce. Once it swims upriver, it's governed by the Department of Interior, and to get there, it has to go up a fish ladder governed by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. This is stupid. This makes no sense. And
by the way, that was incredibly sad. I think you should put that on television, not what I said. That was very, good.
Job. Dealing with the small businesses. A long time ago, when I was 15 years old, I worked in a freezer for a guy that made frozen pizzas, right? Put yourself in that guy's business, and one day he's making cheese pizzas, and in the afternoon he's going to make pepperoni. He's got an entirely different federal agency to deal with, an entirely different process. It just simply doesn't make sense. So we're going to try and fix it. I want to go through a couple of examples today. I've asked Scott to sort of step aside to go over just one or two. A couple of them have made the press. We talk about this later, about the Department of Education and the Department of Labor being merged. We think that makes tremendous sense, because what are they both doing? They're doing the same thing. They're trying to get people ready for the workforce. Sometimes that's education, sometimes it's vocational training, but they're all doing the same thing, so why not put them in the same place? This goes back to the work that I think Ivanka did very early on job training, when we learned that we had, in fact, we don't even know how many job training programs we have. Some people think there's 40, some people think there's 46. Some people think it's 47. We get it down to 16, and we put it all in one place, so that if you're not happy, or the next president is not happy with the way it's going, you don't have, right now, 16 different people around this table have workforce training programs in their agencies. If something is going wrong, you're going to come to me and say, Mick, why aren't you doing it right? I'm going to go, no, that's Scott Pruitt's fault, and that's Betsy DeVos's fault. When everybody's in charge, nobody's in charge, and we're solving that by putting Ed and Labor together and making them responsible and them accountable. The other two things I want to talk about, two of my favorites, examples of how we think we can improve things. Everybody, Democrats, Republicans, local government, state government, you, me, from the private sector, have horror stories about the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. They perform some absolutely critical functions, Mr. President. There's no doubt about it. But over the course of the last century, their role has continued to creep and creep and creep, and we can do better. So the proposal today, you'll see, makes some important changes to the Army Corps of Engineers. The thing that is stuff that is really defense, and there's still things that the Army Corps does that is defense. They stay there, and they should. The things that the Army Corps does that actually help defend the nation will stay where they belong, which is at the Department of Defense. But if we deal with the environment, and a lot of what they do deals with the environment, they deal with environmental mitigation and so forth, that goes over to the Department of the Interior, because y'all are really good at that. Similarly, ports, deep water ports, our lock system. That's not, it used to be a military thing 100 years ago. Now it's Elaine Chao at Department of Transportation, because it's a transportation item. We think it's a much more efficient layout, and it ties in with what you talked about to streamline our permitting process, and goes along with what Mr. Zinke's doing at the DOI to try and centralize. So there's one point of contact. You want to get a permit, you go to one federal agency. This is going to help that. Down here, we've talked a little bit about that one food safety. thing. Right now it's at FDA, USDA, a couple of places. We move all that into the USDA. Why? Because they're really good at it. It's not to say the FDA isn't, but wouldn't it be nice to have one place where people can go to get answers, to get results, to get permits, and to deal with regulatory affairs? At the same time, in all fairness, and Secretary Perdue would tell you this, there's things that USDA doesn't do as well as other agencies. So that's why housing, and they have a big housing component. Why wouldn't that be better off at housing and urban development? So we propose to move that to HUD. Similarly, for years they've handled the food stamp, the SNAP program. That makes absolutely no sense at all. HHS is uniquely set up to handle that. So we moved that and some other means-tested welfare programs over into HHS and to have it centralized so that we can deal with it. No one's ever tried it at this scale, Mr. President. President Clinton tried it a little bit. A couple other presidents have tried it, but no one's ever done it at this scale. And importantly, no one's ever followed through on it. No one's ever given the time commitment that these people around the table have given for the last year and a half. And no one's ever come up with the really big ideas like this. The stuff that President Clinton came up are peanuts compared to this. And every time someone comes to me and says, well, that's okay, this is never going to happen. This is great ideas, Mulvaney, but this doesn't have a chance. A couple of different things one of the biggest ideas, the Department of Education and Labor merger actually doesn't get involved in jurisdictional battles on the Hill. One committee on the Hill handles those things now. Congress is actually ahead of us on this, which is really difficult to say. So there's a chance that we actually can get that done. But even if we don't get it done now, this is the generational kind of stuff that I think you asked us to do when you came to office. When Ronald Reagan said that government wasn't the solution, it was the problem, okay? It took 15 years after that for Bill Clinton to go on TV and say the age of big government is dead. This is a generational thing. Is this going to happen overnight? No. Some of it can, because some of the stuff we can do by ourselves on a regulatory fashion through the administrative process. Other stuff is going to take longer, but this is the stuff that's worth fighting for, and it won't get done unless somebody takes those first steps, which is what we're doing today. So thanks not only for giving us the time to do this, but the encouragement to do this, because it really helped to go back and say, look, push harder, push harder. This is important to the president. This is what he talked about when he said drain the swamp. And this is where we can show the people that voted for you, and even the people that didn't vote for you, that you care about good government and that we're going to make things a lot better. So anyway, that's all I've got.